Y'all, my life is seriously like a reality show, and I am very angry right now. I'm irritated. I'm upset. I feel like I got something every day legit to tell y'all. So that's why y'all need to tune in so y'all can get me in the moment of my emotions. Excuse me if you hear my chair squeaking. I don't know what it is. I don't even feel like getting into it. But anyway, basically this morning I had a court date with my daughter's father. Now, a little bit of backstory about him. He is not only $18,000 behind on child support, he only made two payments within 12 years. One, and both of them was a garnishment. One was a small one from his check in like 2000 and I don't know, 16. The other one was a garnish from taxes in like 2014. So those are the only two checks I have ever received. Long story short, I've been letting him slide for a long time. And everybody been getting, and this is why I say, okay, sometimes it's a good thing to take advice from other people, but sometimes it's like you got to go off of your own judgment, because people will push you and pump you to do something, and then they hide their hands and act like you took it too far, right? So long story short, I've been getting pushed and pumped by everybody. My best friend, my family members, they like, you too soft on him. You too soft on him. Girl, you need to take him back to court. You need to, file him for in contempt because he has not been paying. You need to do this, that, and the third. And I'm like, all right, let me just go ahead. I was one of them people like, I got my baby regardless. He don't even matter no more. I don't even want to deal with the in and out of court. Like, it's going to catch up to him one day, and one day I'm just going to receive a paycheck out of nowhere, and if she grown when I receive it, then I'll just give her the money. So I went ahead and I went down and filed, and not only did I file him for in contempt, my daughter has been talking to me about something that's been bothering her for about 2 years, and it's on and off conversation. She asked me, can I change her last name? Now, at first I had mixed feelings about it. She did not like her last name. She asked her dad last name. Little bit backstory. She was born with my last name. I changed her last name to her dad's when she was about 4 years old. That's when he finally signed her birth certificate. He was heavily absent to the point where from then to 4 years old, he probably only seen my baby maybe 2-3 times. So I talked to his mom. Me and his mom was kind of okay at that point. She convinced him to sign the birth certificate. He did. And I ain't gonna lie, like, I don't even feel like going into details. All I'm gonna say is he did. He signed the birth certificate finally. And I had to have another court date to change her last name legally. So when I went to court, he did not show up. And this was to change the baby to his last name. And the judge, me and her kind of lightweight got into it because she was like, why do you want to change her name? He's not doing anything. He hasn't been paying child support. We see he has not been seeing her. And I was just like, well, that's her father. He signed the birth certificate, CCC. And the judge was pretty much like, okay, that don't mean nothing. Like, you still can keep your baby with your last name. And I feel like that's in the best interest. So I was just like, which this part was wrong on my end. Now, she was 4 years old, granted, but she still always thought that her name was his last name. She didn't know that her last name was my last name still, because I always had hope, like, it's going to be his name type thing. Like, I'm going to convince him to sign it type thing. So the judge approved for her last name to be changed to his. Okay. Now my baby's 11. She will be 12 in January. And we have had these conversations before where she really wants my last name. She does not want his last name anymore due to her own reasons. It bothers her. I'm going to put it like that her father is completely absent. I got a phone call. That her father is completely absent, but she still has his last name. And nowadays, I agree with that. So, oh my God, this phone call is coming in. I'm gonna have to call her back. That's my best friend blowing on my phone. So anyway, long story short, I put in a motion to legally change her last name to mine. And since I've done that, I had a court date with him this morning. This was via Zoom. And this was about holding him in contempt. The judge asked him when was the last time he had a job. Now, this right now is October of 2023. He said the last time he had a job was the duration of January 2023 to March 2023. The judge asked, why did you quit? He said he got laid off. It was a temp job. The judge asked, what was the name of the job? He could not provide that information. He said he forgot it was so long ago. The judge said that was only 6 months ago, sir. You did not forget. Like, how could you forget a job from 6 months ago? So the judge was very irritated with him. He asked for a public defender. They reset a new court date to December the 21st. So, yeah, stay tuned for that vlog. Around Christmas time, I will be giving y'all an update, pretty much. We go to court in person physically tomorrow for the name change. Now, I went down the list of family members, and it is so crazy to me how everybody was pumping me up to, you know, take him to court, do this and that, we got your back. And now that I have court, nobody's available. Like, literally, we've been talking about this. Nobody wants to go. It's not even that people have stuff to do. And this is why I am the black sheep of the family as far as I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't really get down with nobody. Like, I kind of stay with me to myself, because I feel like every time I involve people or I ask for help, it literally makes me look weaker because I get rejected. I'd rather just live in my own world and not even need anyone. So long story short, I'm changing her last name. I put the motion in to change it back to mine. And I'm arguing with not only my best friend, but my dad about it, because more so my dad is heavily against me changing her last name. He feels as if that's still her father, regardless if he's absent, regardless if he loves her or not, regardless if he wants to see her or not. That's who roots she should have, is the father's, is the man's. And I'm like, Dad, I don't think this is a woman-man thing. I think my biggest mistake is changing it to his in the first place. I should have took note. I was young. I got pregnant when I was 17 years old. I should have took note of he wasn't there initially, didn't want to be there to sign a birth certificate. And that should have been my wake-up call to keep it as my last name. But I didn't think like that. It was like a flex to have the dad sign the birth certificate. Listen, my daughter is the oldest of about 10 kids from him. And she's only 11. She's the oldest. He had them back to back to back to back back. We known each other from high school. Soon as he left high school, he just went crazy. And he doesn't care too much about last names. Out of all his kids, my daughter and I believe the little boy that lives with them are the only two that has his last name. The rest of them just got the names of the moms. He's not active in the other one's lives either. He just chooses not to be. So it's not nothing about my parenting. It's not nothing about me making it hard for him. Within 12 years, I want to say me and him have only gotten into it once. That's the only time I remember. And that was like maybe 5 years ago. But it's nothing. He just don't want to be there. It's not no problems or issues. He was seeing her. He seen her probably like 3 times this year. And then he just fell off the map and stopped. You can't just stop seeing your child. I go through stuff every day, B, but I still show up for these kids on a daily. So, y'all, it's just a lot. He cut my daughter's phone off. He had gave her his old phone, cut it off. He changed his number or something. We couldn't get a hold of him. I did see him out in person one day. I told him to call me. He had my number. So we can, so he could talk to his child. He didn't call me. Like, it's just like a F you to my face. And I don't know what causes this. I don't know if it's the chick that he had a baby by. I don't know what it is. When my daughter was there, she said that they had got into it before over her, because she felt like, the girl felt like he was treating my daughter better than their own child because it was a visitation. Like, he was acting fake, like overly jolly with my daughter. So it was like they used to get into it about that. A lot of stuff. Long story short, y'all, the same way I plead to my dad and my best friend, which I shouldn't even have to do, is at the end of the day, yes, this is legally both of our child, but I am there for her. I love her. I want her. I want to be there. I make an effort. I show up every single day. This is damn the child support. This is not about a payment. This is about who's there. Who's there? Who want to be there? We live in the same city. We live very close to each other. And you mean to tell me that my daughter have to see him and his son and his girl at the supermarket and he won't even talk to her and say, hey, and they portraying a little family, in the same store? Like that, this is crazy. At this point, not only does she want to have my last name, I want her to have my last name too. I feel like carrying on the legacy of his last name, if he's not trying to make no effort to be there, is crazy. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I got to go to court tomorrow by myself. What my father told me is to bring a book. Bring a book. So I won't feel awkward, because I know somebody's going to be there with him. I don't know if it's going to be his mom, the girl, whoever, because obviously he needs a ride. But I don't have anybody to go with me. So I'm just going to bring a book. And it's just so crazy, because I'm always there for everybody else. Y'all see me on the vlogs all the time. Hey, y'all, just took such and such this place. Just did this for such and such. Just left my sister. Just left my grandma. Just left my mom. And when it's time for me, when it's time for Star, I just feel like people don't show up for me the same way that I show up for them. And I'm really finna get on my introvert with just, me and my kids, because at this point, I'm ready for my life to begin. And me and my dad had gotten a whole argument about that. Then he brought up some other stuff. And it was just the way he was talking to me is something I would confide in, like my sister or something. And I was just like, okay, who told you this in the first place to make you even bring this up to me? So I feel like it's things going around. I feel like at this point, I really can't talk to anyone about certain things. And I really don't know. Like, I tell y'all a lot of stuff, but I don't tell y'all every single thing, because I'm thinking like, dang, did he get something from my vlog? Have I said anything about this specific conversation that he mentioned to me? I don't know, but I know that my dad was never like super supportive of my music career and stuff like that. He recently got supportive of my radio career last year, but he don't be on it watching every single video. So I don't know. It just is what it is. But Dad, if you are watching this, I just want to tell you, it's my daughter at the end of the day. And I can't allow people to, how do I want to say, because I still want to be respectful at the same time. I can't allow people to tell me how to be a parent if when it was their turn to be a parent growing up, they didn't always do stuff in my best interest. I can't allow you to tell me how to raise my child if I don't have that many memories with you. Get what I'm saying? I seen a quote today, and I was going to make a whole separate vlog about it, but maybe I will add it to this one. I seen a quote today, and it said, and this is not necessarily pertaining to him, this is just in general about self-confidence, self-worth. I've been looking up a lot of videos about that lately. I seen a video today that pretty much said, never allow a person to make you feel bad about yourself, or stop taking advice from people, negative advice that you wouldn't want to trade places with. If I don't want to trade places with you, I'm good on your advice. I didn't ask for it. I'm good on your consulting if I don't want to trade places with you. If I feel like we are on two different levels when it comes to parenting, I don't want to trade places with you. I feel like if my children, God forbid, were ever in this type of situations, I will understand. And even if I didn't, I would be there for them and with them. That's the difference. So I don't know. I'm vulnerable. I'm putting myself out there. I'm putting my vlogs out there. And I really don't know who watches this, who agrees, who doesn't. But it's my choice. I'm being open. I'm being transparent. And I will keep you guys informed every step of the way. At the end of the day, it's my daughter. I'm here for her. And I love her. Quick side note. Yesterday, I did go out. I might do a separate vlog, but yesterday I did go out and I bought Halloween costumes for my kids and I. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a separate vlog about that because I'm really getting my fifis right now. And y'all, if I'm already irritated, I literally have no idea what this vlog gonna end up going. So, woo! I'm gonna do a separate vlog about the Halloween costumes. I love you guys. Have a good day. Bye.